cartilage, and bone health. Move on to new Move Free Ultra.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
And welcome back, everyone, to Weather Center Live. We're in extended coverage tonight as we cover Winter Storm Thor. Chicago, you're in the clear, but bitterly cold air is rushing in behind this storm. It is brutally cold, temperatures in the teens, and it's going to get colder before it gets warmer. And that's the case for the Northeast, for the Southeast as well. So we're going to talk about some of the record cold we're expecting, and we're going to see many record lows over the next 2 days. Pittsburgh for you, for sure, not just a daily record low. How about the coldest temperature that we have seen in the month of March? That's going to happen tomorrow morning. So 8 below 0. That's the forecast tomorrow morning. The old record was 1 below 0. So we're beating it by 7 degrees. So not just Pittsburgh. Look at all the lows we're expecting to be records. And that includes here around the mid-Atlantic states and up near the Boston area. And the Cincinnati will see a record as well. So tomorrow morning, 2 degrees in Columbus, Charlotte, 26. Look at Chicago. Yes, we're getting down to 0 degrees. But you know what? By Saturday morning, we're warming up in the plains. But then the coldest air comes in Saturday morning for the Northeast. Burlington, 8 degrees. It looks like New York City at 14 degrees. Cincinnati warming up to 18 degrees, and we'll continue to see that trend. So records, Memphis, Little Rock, Baton Rouge, Jackson, Kentucky, all could see records, looks like, for tomorrow morning. Alex?
All right, thank you so much, Kim. Well, you know, Winter Storm Thor, it is made for some icy and snowy driving conditions across parts of North Carolina. And joining us now on the phone is Steve Abbott from the North Carolina Department of Transportation. And Steve, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Can you give us an update on what the road conditions are like across the state?
Well, right now, they're very wet, obviously, but they have not quite gotten to the frozen level yet, as the temperature's just hovering about 32.
So I would assume at this point no reports of accidents or any injuries.
Not too many at all, just usual stuff that happens. We're hoping many drivers heeded our warning to stay off the road tonight, and obviously overnight it'd be very light traffic.
Now, what crews are actually out working to treat roadways, if any, at this point?
Well, in the Raleigh area, we have 60 workers who came in early afternoon and just keeping an eye on the bridges and the overpasses. And the break we're going to get is that the precipitation is leaving. We can go out and start salting some of the real slippery spots ahead of time. So
what are some of the main concerns as we start to work our way through the night?
The dreaded black ice. That'll be coming up quite a few places. We got at least an inch of rain today, and a lot of puddles are out there, and it's going to drop to, we believe, about the mid to low 20s, so things are going to freeze up quite a bit.
So now, as people start to get out on the roadways tomorrow, at least before they do so, where can they get more information about some of those road conditions before they actually venture out?
Well, we have a TIMS alert system for travel that we can put out. They can find on our website. That also notifies all the local media, conditions and roads and so forth. So we partner with the media trying to get the word out to stay away from certain areas, other areas that are treacherous, and just tell people not to get on the road.
Absolutely. Good advice, no doubt about it. We appreciate it there. Steve Abbott there from the North Carolina Department of Transportation. Key is to stay off the roads here tonight. The potential for black ice existing across portions of North Carolina. Kim?
And once the black ice goes away and we start to warm up and then cool down again, another big problem is going to be with us, and that is potholes. That's right. We'll eventually see a warming trend in the week ahead, and that means potholes will be popping up in areas that have already taken a beating from winter's worst. But how do they form? Well, first of all, you've got, cracks already in the surface. Water gets in there, and when it gets really cold, it freezes and expands. So now we're kind of making those crevices even bigger. And you got cars driving over the top of that, and that is helping to break it up even more and putting downward stress on it as well. And then the next thing you got to worry about after that is when the ice melts. You got the warm air coming in, the ice begins to melt, it leaves a hole underneath that surface. So when the car comes over the top of it, guess what happens? It just basically falls right into that hole. So that's where the problem is, right there, and that's how potholes form. And it looks like, Alex, we're going to get a chance to see more of them coming up here over the next couple of days. And I'll tell you what, they really could do some damage. I know some states will actually maybe pay for your tires to be replaced if they do either go flat or get a hole in them.
Wow. I did not know that, but
Yes,
it's certainly good to know.
Ohio does that, or did that last year.
All right. Well, certainly going to be needed over the coming days as we start to warm things up. Well, straight ahead, we are keeping that eye on Winter Storm Thor as it winds down. It's left situations like this in its path today. Drivers stranded on Kentucky highways. What is still to come? Well, we're going to head out to the lab with storm specialist Carl Parker for the complete winter weather update.
It's time to take command of any adventure. With the fastest growing automotive luxury brand on the road, there's never been a better time to drive a Lexus during the Command Performance Sales Event. Get great offers on your favorite Lexus models now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
Yeah, girl. You know, I've been thinking about us. And, I just can't fight it anymore. It's bundle time. Feel those savings, baby.
And that's how a home and auto bundle is made. Better he learns it here than on the streets.
The miracle of bundling. Now that's progressive.
Build weather inventions.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked?
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall near 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Anna, Tom, what can I help you find today?
We are repainting, but our kids are tough on walls.
I totally get it. You need Valspar. It's our best paint. And with the Valspar color guarantee, if you don't like the color, you get a new one free.
What?
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Change color for free?
We've been doing that for years. Hey, Val, check it out. Hey, Val.
I see you, honey.
Hurry in now to save big on sample paints in any color. Just 99 cents each this month only. Going to the paint studio at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Sometimes, bigger is better. But other times, bigger just gets in the way. At Brother, we know the biggest printer isn't always the best fit for every office. So we've come up with a bigger idea. Don't supersize, optimize. See how we can help you put the right printers in all the right places and help reduce your costs. Now that's big. Brother, at your side. Learn more at don'tsupersizeoptimize.com.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're going to give those same kids Bush's baked beans.
That's good.
Bush's baked beans, the vegetable that kids love.
From the very start, I wanted FitCore to be different. If you come to me, it's because you want to do what I do because I don't do what other people do. It's kind of like creating a brand for myself.
Your business is unique. Your marketing should be too. With Vistaprint, it will be. Put your personal touch on 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
With so many great shows on these days, you need a DVR that can catch them all. How many shows can you DVR at one time?
I can only DVR one at a time.
It'll act like it's recording, but one of us got kicked out.
There isn't any fighting, but there is conflict. With Xfinity, you can record 4 shows at once and watch a 5th live.
That's really cool.
There's no conflict, so you're never going to miss a show.
Say so long to recording conflicts. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
One look at that Red Baron pizza, and you're gonna love it from the first bite to the last. Because a perfect pizza requires a perfect crust. The sauce commands your attention. The cheese begs you to savor every bite. The pepperoni declares you have reached pizza nirvana. And that last slice?
What's it worth to you?
A perfect crust means a better pizza. Red Baron. Love at first bite. Pick up a pizza you can call your own. Red Baron Singles.
95.
You only have two hands, but you have a whole lot of bristles.
Call 1-800-582-1681.
Winter Storm Thor.
Roads are terrible. Stay off the roads. Let the crews get their job done and everybody stay safe.
Live coverage continues in a moment on the Weather Channel.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are looking live at Rehoboth Beach here in Delaware. Temperatures in the 20s, and oh, you could see it. The wind just whipping that snow around right now. Temperatures, again, very cold, and we are looking for it to get colder, and the winds, hopefully, will calm down for tomorrow. All right, joining me right now in the lab is our storm specialist, Carl Parker, and we're going to talk about some of the snow reports, get your forecast, and then talk about the warm-up.
Yeah,
okay.
And you know, it's amazing how much real estate this storm covered. We're talking about the Northeast and New England, and then all the way back into Texas. Last night we were looking at freezing rain in Dallas, and we got a fair amount of snow on the back side of this. 4.5 inches there in the Dallas and Fort Worth Metroplex. And here's something interesting. This is the visible satellite picture, and I know you're going to be able to see this right away.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the snow that was on the ground there in Oklahoma and in Dallas, and that strong March sun took care of that snow in a hurry.
Yeah.
And it's not just melting. You know, the temperatures were not that warm today. They were in the 30s for the most part. And so it's not just melting, it's also sublimation. It's the snow and the ice going directly into a gas with that strong March sun working on it. And it's amazing how that just contracted. Just like that.
Nice.
But that is not the case. That is not the case here across the Ohio Valley, where you very much see the snow cover there. And we got walloped by the storm in this area. We're talking about as much as a foot and more. There were some spots that got a couple of feet. Right in there in particular, right, just west of the Mississippi there. That probably has something to do with the terrain too. I would imagine why it's showing up a little bit better there.
That's
but
possible.
but it's just incredible what we got out of the storm. 12 inches in Paducah, 11.5 in Louisville, 4.5 in Pittsburgh. 25 inches in Radcliffe. When I first saw that, I thought, well, that seems like it might be, you know, a little overdone. But there were a number of spots that actually reported 20 inches.
Okay, so it's believable.
It's believable, it is. 15 inches in Waterloo and 13 inches in Martin, Tennessee. And there is a look at the storm today across the Northeast. Same thing that we saw last night in the Ohio Valley, just this fire hose, this conveyor belt of moisture across the region, slowly working off to the south and to the east. And so here's what we saw out of that today. South of Boston, we didn't get much in Boston at all, but we got 10 inches there on the South Shore, 7 in New York City, also in Atlantic City, 7.5 in Philly, and 9 inches in Columbia, Maryland. That's about halfway between Baltimore and D.C. So here's the very last of it. Just a little bit of snow across the Atlantic City Expressway and there along the northern part of the bay, right around the Bay Bridge, and dropping down into southern Maryland. We've had a little freezing rain south of Norfolk, but this is basically it. I mean, it's going to be moving out here in the next hour or so, and that's the end of that storm.
So no accumulating snow anywhere?
Probably not. Maybe
an inch.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's probably what we'll see.
Okay.
But we will have very cold weather for a while yet, and this is Saturday morning, looking at wind chills in the single numbers in the Northeast, in the teens across a lot of the Midwest. Very, very chilly, at least early on.
Right. Yeah, I was going to mention Atlanta. I know the kids are starting soccer this weekend, and they're going to be having to deal with upper 20s. It's going to be cold.
But things are going to be turning around very, very quickly. And here's the pattern that we saw for the longest time. Big jet stream dip in the east, below average temperatures. That was January and February. Now, next week, we're going to watch a much more zonal flow. Storm coming into California. That's great news. They need the rain and the snow. The cold air is going to be bottled up, and it's going to be so much warmer across so much of the country. D.C. looking at temperatures approaching 60 by Wednesday. Day.
Cherry Blossom Festival right around the corner.
That's right.
We'll take the warm-up. Thanks so much, Carl. We'll check back with you top of the hour.
Okay.
Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, that warm-up is no doubt about it. Welcome. I posted on my Facebook page the warm-up that's going to be taking place next week, and everyone is joyous of this happening here because it has just been so brutally cold for the last, it seems like, several weeks. So there's the pattern now. Some of that milder air, warm air that's been sort of stuck in the west will begin to shift its way a little bit farther east. So many across the plains, south, and eventually in the northeast will get a chance to warm up again as we start to work into early next week. Now here's the weekend for you. 61 getting to that mark there in Wichita by Saturday. Should continue to deal with the warmth there for you in Rapid City. 51 degrees once you get to Sunday, and we'll continue to slowly rise here in the coming days. Next week, Monday now, we've got 60s across most of the plains, and by Tuesday, 51 showing up in Chicago. That's a good 8 degrees above our average. So a lot of areas that have been in the deep freeze, we've got some warmer air on the way. Hang in there. Well, our coverage of Winter Storm Thor continues in the next hour. We're getting the updates on some of the areas still seeing the snow, plus potential record cold temps.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall near 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, hundreds of drivers were stranded on Interstate 65 in Kentucky. Dozens of vehicles were stuck for up to 12 hours as falling snow piled up around gridlocked traffic.
Plus, a very scary situation at LaGuardia Airport. This is a live look now at the airport where a plane skidded off the runway and crashed into a fence with 127 passengers on board as it tried to land in a blinding wintry mix this morning.
Well, Winter Storm Thor has been causing havoc across the nation for days. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kim Cunningham.
And I'm Alex Walls. And as Thor moves off the coast, frigid air, that slides right into its place.
That's right. In Thor's wake, motorists on a stretch of Interstate 65 in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, look how they're lined up here, finally began moving after being stranded amid heavy snowpack. Now, the overnight ordeal, well, stretched into this evening. Trucks jackknifed in the snow and crews were unable to clear the snow as it piled up around cars that were stuck in one place.
We've been stuck since like 10:15 last night, and the snow has piled up so high. When we open the car doors, it pushes the snow out of the way.
They said is that they would remove us from our vehicles and take us to one of the 2 area shelters, and then they would tow the vehicle to the shelter.
We're shadowing ambulances that are on runs, and they cannot negotiate the streets or the roads because of the snow.
All right, Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear called a state of emergency, even calling in the National Guard to help rescue motorists who were stranded overnight without any food or water.
Well, you know, Winter Storm Thor, it broke records in Kentucky. Today is Lexington's snowiest March day on record, and we get more from meteorologist Maria LaRosa.
Record-setting snowfall in Lexington today. We now have fair skies, but plenty of snow left over. And unfortunately for motorists, it's still on the roadways. Take a look. This is Broadway, where you still have the snow. They weren't able to pre-treat because of all the rain that came before all this snow. They've been trying to continue to plow the streets over the last several hours, but you can still see plenty leftovers. And that's been enough problem. We had earlier a motorist get stuck as they took the turn a little bit too wide, caught some of the snow just on the edge, spun out there and was not able to get out. So they had to call the fire department and help dig them out so that they can be on their way. So just take that as a heads up, because it's not going to get any easier with temperatures that are going to stay below freezing through the night into the early part of tomorrow. And speaking of temperatures, close to 0 for tomorrow morning. The record for the day would be 2 below. If we do get below 0, only the 6th time for record keeping in March in Lexington that's ever happened. So pretty rare to be this cold this time of year. Looking ahead, though, the good news, temperatures will be above freezing for a good amount of time starting on Saturday, with highs back in the 40s in Lexington. And then you have the snow melt, the next problem for Lexington. In Lexington, I'm meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you so much. And let's take a look at what's going on with our storm right now. And as we talked about last night, this was not so much an area of low pressure, though there was an upper low involved on the backside of all of this, but it was really more of a southwesterly flow, which you can very clearly see here over the last 24 hours, just marching along towards the east very slowly, dumping a tremendous amount of snow on the Ohio Valley and making for a very healthy storm in the northeast as well. And we've got a look at the radar picture over the last 12 hours, and you can see just how much snow came down through the day today. Lasted a little bit longer than we thought it would in southern New England, but for the most part behaved as was expected, especially in the mid-Atlantic region. And here's a look at the totals. You had a big area of several inches of snow, 10 inches south of Boston in New Bedford, but very little in Boston proper, 7 inches in New York, and then down the coast in Atlantic City, 7.5 Philly, 9 inches Columbia, in between Baltimore and D.C., and 5.3 at the National Zoo on Connecticut there in downtown D.C. There's a look at the current radar picture. Not much left to this storm, just some lingering light snow along 95 now, the northern part of the Chesapeake Bay. A little bit of snow into southeastern Virginia as well. We've had some freezing rain just south of Norfolk, but there too, it's really thinning out and really winding down. So this is the very last of this storm, and now it's just going to be really cold and really windy next couple of days. Winds here across the northeast, probably 20 miles per hour or better tomorrow morning. And so you're talking about a wind chill of 2 in New York and 1 in Columbus. Minus 17 is what it's going to feel like in Burlington, Vermont, and 5 the apparent temperature in Memphis, Tennessee. So pretty chilly stuff. Even into Saturday morning, winds let up a little bit. It's going to feel like 9 in New York, 12 in Cincinnati, and 31 degrees the apparent temperature in Charlotte. If you are tired of this cold weather, and who can blame you? It's been around for a long, long time. Those are the temperature departures for the months of January and February, below average for much of the eastern 2/3 of the country, with a big dip in the jet stream. That polar jet stream is going to lift way up to the north, and the coldest of air will be confined to Canada. We'll get more of a Pacific flow, and you see that little bit of a dip there along the west coast. That is going to mean a storm for the west coast, which they desperately need. Rain and snow on the way by the middle of next week, and much milder temperatures for a lot of the country. Here's looking at next Thursday. Now, the cold is going to be slower to give up in New England because there's so much snow on the ground, and that also it acts like a refrigerator, and what it also does is it reflects a lot of sunlight, and that's going to keep it a little cooler in New England. But 46 in New York, so certainly that's a lot milder. 67 in Atlanta, 70 in Dallas, and we're talking about more of the same on Friday. The one thing we will be concerned about with all that warm air coming up into areas where there's a lot of snow on the ground is the potential for flooding. That is going to loom large with those warmer temperatures and rain coming in. There's a look at DC's forecast, getting up to about 60 on Wednesday, 57 on Thursday, and in New York we're talking about temperatures approaching 47 on Wednesday, and that is very close to the average high for this time of the year. Alex, over to you.
A welcome sight, no doubt. Well, you know, Winter Storm Thor also being blamed for one plane skidding off the runway at LaGuardia Airport in New York today. 127 passengers plus the crew were on board a Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta when it crashed into a fence at around 11 a.m. 24 people were reported with minor injuries as a result of the incident, and 3 were taken to a local hospital.
It was kind of like a state of shock. Yeah, everybody had our seatbelts on, and it wasn't really that bad, but it was pretty scary. And I'm just thankful that we didn't go into the water.
All I know is we were in the air, and then it was skiing. We landed, it started skiing, and then it hit the side of the rail, and then it went 400 yards. Then after that, they evacuated us from the back. We got out in the back, and it was...
What was it like? Was there panic?
Actually, it was more of a calm feeling, you know. I mean, it was definitely an experience that we will be able to talk about.
Well, as Winter Storm Thor pushes out, the frigid cold is going to move in. After your local on the 8s, we're going to show you just how cold it is going to get and where we could actually see a lot of record lows. We'll be right back.
Who's responsible for this?
If something goes wrong, you find a scapegoat.
Rick.
It's what you do.
What'd you say?
Kelly. Want to save 15% or more on car insurance? You switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Rick, don't walk away from me.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Moen Caldwell faucet for $79 at Lowe's.
Yes! Again! That's a 3! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Pentarak!
3, baby. 10 minutes.
Oh my God! Dude, you gotta be kidding me!
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain 70%. Rainfall near 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter Storm Thor.
Roads are terrible. Stay off the roads. Let the crews get their job done and everybody stay safe.
Live coverage continues in a moment on the Weather Channel.
How do Crest 3D white strips compare to a whitening toothpaste? Let's see.
The paste didn't seem to do much for me. The white strips made a huge difference.
But that's not fair. Crest white strips work below the enamel surface to whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste. Crest white strips, the way to whiten.
Hi, Tom. How's the college visit? Does it make the short list? Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's okay. This is what we've been planning for.
Knowing our clients personally is why Edward Jones is the big company that doesn't act that way.
So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. Ach, verdammt! I said it 3 times and it's still not true.
Performance is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
Right now we're looking live at New York City, temperature of 21 degrees. We had light rain, snow, light snow, fog, haze, all being reported today in the Big Apple. Now the big story is the cold that is going to follow Winter Storm Thor. Also Philadelphia, it is cold, temperature of 21 as well. We also saw all kinds of weather today, but now just some clouds and the cold air is beginning to come in the next couple of mornings. We're going to see temperatures below average. Let's check out your forecast now in the Philadelphia area, where we're going to be looking at snow tapering off, probably done at this point. Then we'll see some clouds hanging on till about 6 o'clock in the morning, and by that time it'll be 9 degrees. And then the sun will be back and it'll be with us for the day. But 10 o'clock in the morning, it's only going to be 18 degrees. So yes, the cold is with us for a couple of days. Now the Mid-South, we're going to also see a lot of cold, but we also saw snow and ice yesterday.
Sure did, causing problems on highways in Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Memphis saw some moderate snowmelt today as well, but bitter cold tonight, turning some of that to mixed blessing into an icy curse. Our Ron Blum is there with an update.
Well, they may be singing the wintertime blues in Memphis tonight. What melted today with a little bit of sunshine is now refreezing, and out here on Germantown Parkway, it is getting very slippery. And you can just hear as you crunch through the side of the snow and the slush up here, you know that we still have quite a bit left over from the inch of sleet and the 4 inches of snow. But the real story to sing the blues about overnight tonight will be the cold. The temperatures are in the 20s now. They're going to be down in the 10-degree range in the city of Memphis early tomorrow morning, but in the outlying areas, it's going to be 5 degrees. And with a north wind that may kick up to 6 to 10 miles an hour, that puts the wind chill well below zero. The other hazard here is as all of this is frozen, it's gotten very slippery. Parking lots, sidewalks, everything is a slip and fall hazard in Memphis. They don't have a lot of equipment here to deal with the storm, about 24 trucks mounted with plows and salt spreaders. The strategy here is to let it melt, and it's going to take until Saturday and Sunday when the temperature gets up in the 40s for it to do that. Next week, a forecast of 50s and 60s, and people will put the wintertime blues in the past. I'm Ron Blum reporting from Memphis. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Ron. But before we put it to pass, we've got more cold to deal with. Record cold here behind our Winter Storm Thor. Here we are looking towards our Friday morning, so tomorrow morning and Saturday morning, some of the areas where record low temperatures will be possible. All the dots that just showed up, that's where we could see it. Parts of Texas, getting into parts of the Deep South, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast, all locations where we could see some record temps. So here we are right now, and we've got the cold air certainly across the upper Midwest, Great Lakes region. That's where we're talking single digits and teens. Back down into the south, we've chilled it down. New Orleans, 38 degrees. Atlanta sits at 33. But look, Jacksonville, 66 degrees, and that's cooled down significantly. You were at 80 just a couple of hours ago, so we continue to deal with some of that chillier air sliding towards the south and the east. Tomorrow morning, this is where we think we'll deal with some of the coldest numbers in some spots, single digits, even some below zero readings. It's by the time we get to Saturday morning, still cold, but we're starting to see and watch those numbers nudge up just a tad. So we don't see too many areas down into the single digits. The exception as you get up into far northern sections of New England. A spot like Burlington down to 8, 14 showing up there for you in New York City. So where are the areas where we could see the records? Toledo, Ohio. Record is 2 degrees. That was set back in 1901. Forecasting 4 below, so shattering that. The same in Pittsburgh. We've seen a couple of record lows here, it seems like, over the last few weeks. Another chance coming up tomorrow morning, and same for you in Islip and Atlantic City. Kim?
And straight ahead, we're taking you to the nation's capital. Blanketed in white today. The kids got a snow day. Tough travel, though. Now, what can you expect tonight and tomorrow? Your forecast is straight ahead.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
When Ted's battery light lit up, his morning went from bad to worse. But after a pit stop at AutoZone, where they checked that for free, Ted was back to peak performance. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
I'm home.
Everything's fine.
Of all the things that happen on your wooden surfaces, disinfecting has to be one of them. Clorox Disinfecting Wipes.
New Move Free Ultra brings a revolution to joint health. It's the smallest joint health pill, now with a new triple action formula for joint, cartilage, and bone health. Move on to new Move Free Ultra.
Nice morning, Scott.
Hi. At a morning of tiny voices crying out, feed us.
I don't understand.
Your grass, man. It's a living, breathing thing. It's hungry, and you've got to feed it with Scott's Turf Builder. Attaboy, Mikey. 2 feedings now in the springtime. Strengthens and helps protect your lawn from future problems. Get Scott's Turf Builder lawn food. It's guaranteed. Feed your lawn. Feed it.
And to keep crabgrass away all season long, get Scott's Turf Builder with Halt's Crabgrass Preventer.
Build weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency. Oh my God!
It was hard.
Don't miss the Rooms to Go anniversary sale, because whatever beautiful furniture you choose from the new Cindy Crawford Coastal Collection, you'll really save. Plus, you can finance interest-free until January 2020. There's no interest adding up, no interest period, until January 2020. Get the perfect furniture for your Florida home at the Rooms to Go anniversary sale going on now.
3,000 years of history waiting to be discovered.
Body was found this morning.
Do we have any suspects yet?
It's my job to find out what happened.
Stop!
It's time.
Someone wants to find it or died trying.
Ford is coming to Miami. Now you can get behind the wheel and take the EcoBoost Challenge on March 7th. Visit EcoBoostDrive.com for event details.
Is free. If you want the power to stay active, then you want CopperFit. Experience the power of CopperFit back.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8, brought to you by Disney Parks.
Here you are. Anything I can do to make your stay more magical?
Well, I wish we could have even more park time.
Have dinner with the princess? I want to ride the monorail. Oh, and take a break by the pool.
But be back in time for fireworks?
Let me see what I can do.
When you stay at a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel, you get the most out of your vacation and your family. And now you'll save up to 25% off a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall near 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Live now on our nation's capital, the White House to be exact right now. 27 degrees. Starting to see the snow showers tapering off. It's been with us, seems like, all day, though, here in D.C. Started out this morning with a bit of rain and that switched over to snow. And officially picking up at the airport at National, 4.8 inches of snow. Dulles, right around the way, across the way, 9.4 inches of snow there.
Oh, all right, guys. Snow's tapering off now in Washington, D.C., but Now we're dealing with the bitter cold. Beltway residents eager, I know you guys are eager to warm up under the covers at home tonight for sure.
Yeah, but some don't have a place to call home. And our Rick Adams talked to a man who's doing something about that.
Well, here we are in the nation's capital, and you can see it beautifully lit up behind me right now, still under a little bit of reconstruction. But the fact that you can see it is actually something, because earlier on today we had a visibility of less than a quarter of a mile. That thing was just disappeared, and we were clouded in banks of snow. And we were surrounded by people here today, taking a look at the snow, because of course the government was out today. But and schools tomorrow, the knock-on effect will be that there are a lot of schools tomorrow that are still closed in the area. So that's going to be a bit of a problem for parents who are going to be like, oh please, when will this stuff go away? This stuff, look, it looks heavy, but it's actually very light and fluffy. You can see this is what we're dealing with now, but this will change later on into something extraordinarily hard and very icy, and the roads are already icing up here as we speak, and they are going to get the trucks out. They are, of course, salting and trying to do the best they can with those roads, but really it'll come down to common sense tomorrow morning. A lot of businesses are saying, look, please, if you don't have to come in, why don't you just telecommunicate tomorrow, telecommute, I should say. Use your laptop, that's what they invented it for, and if you can, phone in, see if you can stay away from those roads for a little bit, at least until the temperatures warm up. It's going to be warming up over the weekend, and we're headed towards some great weather next week, and hopefully we can get rid of all of this white stuff that you see around me. Temperatures dropping to around about 10 degrees tonight, so it's going to be pretty cold out here, so make sure you wrap up warm if you're going out to work tomorrow. And if you do spot someone who's homeless tomorrow, please see if you can take care of them. Call the local hypothermia lines, see if someone can come and pick them up, put them in a shelter, and get them a hot drink at least. Make sure that you're taking care of people if you see them. Thanks very much. Okay, well, from here right now at the Capitol, it's not snowing right now. There'll be a little bit of dribs and drabs of snow later on, but now back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks so much. Let's talk about the cold, and let's talk about maybe the warmth that we're going to see coming up. But first, we have to deal with what's left of Winter Storm Thor. So still dealing with a few weather alerts. We still have winter storm warnings in effect for a very small area here in Delaware. It looks like in Maryland as well. But here in Virginia and North Carolina, winter weather advisory, so not as bad. And actually, overall, this whole thing is coming to an end. Okay, this big storm is starting to move out into the Atlantic Ocean, and we're just seeing little areas of maybe light snow, and that's it. Maybe a little bit of rain still up for the Outer Banks, but that's going to change over to snow at the end of this. So right now we're looking at Raleigh, where it's much better. Looks like the snow has ended. So traveling from Raleigh westward to Greensboro, you're doing good. Norfolk, though, maybe a little bit of light snow. Then the cold air is really going to be rushing in. Already starting to see that. Elizabeth City seeing that changeover as well. So a lot of us along the mid-Atlantic coast will see a changeover from rain to maybe a little bit of snow, and the wind is going to pick up. That's with the front coming through. So the winds will pick up. Then we're going to see cloudy conditions. And look at these temperatures dropping like a rock into the low 20s as we get to the early morning hours. And you know what? Saturday morning will be even colder. Alex?
Oh, well, while the mid-Atlantic into parts of the Northeast still dealing with a bit of a snow, Boston, well, missed out this round. Yeah, so very close to breaking a record for the snowiest season. Here we are looking live over the city. You sit at 105.7 inches so far this winter. The record stands at 107.6. And it doesn't look like we'll be breaking it just yet. Official report here from the snow early this morning, Kim, just a trace at the airport.
It's really going to drag this out, right? Straight ahead, terrifying moments, though, on the Northeast tarmac in the middle of a winter storm. This plane slides off the runway. It's dangerously close to the ocean. This all played out at New York's LaGuardia today. We'll have that story straight ahead.
Sometimes bigger is better. But other times, bigger just gets in the way. At Brother, we know the biggest printer isn't always the best fit for every office. So we've come up with a bigger idea. Don't supersize, optimize. See how we can help you put the right printers in all the right places and help reduce your costs. Now that's big. Brother, at your side. Learn more at don'tsupersizeoptimize.com.
I'll never look back. I will just look younger.
New Olay Total Effects with more vitamins than the leading prestige moisturizer to fight 7 signs of aging. In just 4 weeks, skin looks up to 10 years younger. From the world's #1, Olay, your best beautiful.
Working on my feet all day made my lower back really hurt.
I had to work through my knee pain.
My foot pain, it kept coming back until I found custom fit orthotic inserts at this free Dr. Scholl's Foot Mapping Center at Walmart. Now, They give me immediate pain relief. In less than 2 minutes, I got my foot map, custom number. I'm a 440.
330.
A 210.
It matched the inserts with the right support for me. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
My lower back pain.
Find a Walmart with a machine at drscholl's.com.
It's just you and your honey. The setting is perfect. But then erectile dysfunction happens again. You know what? Plenty of guys have this issue, not just getting an erection, but keeping it. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Eligible for Medicare? That's a good thing, but it doesn't cover everything. Only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. So consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, they could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call today to request a free decision guide. With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. Join the millions who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP and provided by United Healthcare Insurance Company, which has over 30 years of experience behind it. With all the good years ahead, look for the experience and commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
Yes, again! That's a 3! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Pentarak!
3, baby. 10 minutes.
Oh my God! Dude, you gotta be kidding me!
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain 70%. Rainfall near 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter Storm Thor.
Roads are terrible. Stay off the roads. Let the crews get their job done and everybody stay safe.
Live coverage continues in a moment on the Weather Channel.
Good evening and welcome back to our special coverage of Winter Storm Thor.
For the very latest, we want to head down to the lab with storm specialist Carl Parker. Carl?
Hey, Alex. So we're watching our storm finally wind down right now. We saw a very healthy snowstorm across a lot of the Northeast. Many locations reporting several inches of snow and as much as nearly a foot of snow in some spots, including northern Maryland and parts of Pennsylvania. And here is a look at the satellite picture over the last 2 days. This is a 48-hour satellite loop, and you can really see the two main players in this. One was this feed of moisture coming up from the south here, a lot of Gulf moisture involved as well, and Atlantic moisture towards the very end there. And then you had cold air coming down from Canada, and you can actually see that on this type of satellite imagery. What it's showing you in blue is the very cold cloud tops, but it also depicts the cold ground as that blue color in the overnight hours when it gets very cold. You can see how that blue sort of pulses down there, and that's the cold air mass that fed into all that moisture. And the result was a terrific amount of snow in some areas. A lot of reports of double-digit snow around the Ohio Valley. And look at this, 25 inches there in Radcliffe in Kentucky. And there were a number of spots that got more than 20 inches of snow. That's why we had very serious problems on the roads in Kentucky. The snowfall rates were quite heavy last night. And then we watched that conveyor belt of moisture come up and across the Northeast today. This is looking back over the last 12 hours, and we saw a good bit of snow in southern New England as well as into the mid-Atlantic region. For the most part, it was what we thought it would be. It lasted a little bit longer than was anticipated in southern New England. 10 inches in New Bedford, but very little in Boston proper. 7 in New York, Atlantic City, about that in Philly. 9 in Columbia, and 5.3 the National Zoo. And this was actually the biggest snowstorm of the season at both Dulles Airport and Reagan National, just a little bit more than what we saw in late February. There's the radar picture right now. We are getting some light snow in parts of Maryland and also southern Jersey there, the Delmarva. This is the very, very last of this storm, seeing some light snow being reported in and around Tidewater, Virginia. And that's going to be it. It's going to be moving out here in the next hour or so. There's the wind chill forecast. Tomorrow morning, still pretty gusty, and minus 17 is what it's going to feel like in Burlington, 2 in New York, and 1 in Columbus. It's a little less windy on Saturday morning and a little less chilly. 10 is what it feels like in New York and 12 in Cincinnati. But in the longer term, things are really going to turn around. This is the pattern that we've seen for so long, with the big ridge in the west, big dip in the jet stream in the east. And what we're going to see is that trough lifting out and a flatter flow and much milder weather for most of the country coming up next week. Kim, over to you.
Maybe a little bit of rain for some of us here in the south. Thank you so much, Carl. Winter storm Thor, well, it's been hitting Lexington, Kentucky with a record-setting snow. It's the area's snowiest March day ever. 10 inches of snow, snarling traffic, stranding drivers out there too, prompting a state of emergency and deployment of National Guard. It's also the area's snowiest season since 1978, with 40 inches so far. Our Maria LaRosa is in Lexington tonight. Maria?
Now, a few hours now after the snow has stopped, but what an incredible snowstorm for Lexington and all of Kentucky, really. Take a look at what 17.1 inches of snow does along the sides of the roadways. This is Broadway here in Lexington, and we've been watching on Main Street here, dump trucks full of snow hauling that snow away. And we actually still have problems, again, despite the fact that it stopped snowing. Take a look at this. This vehicle took the turn a little bit too wide on Broadway earlier today, and firefighters had to come and help dig them out, and all they did was catch a little bit of that extra snow closer to the curb, and that was enough for a little bit of spin out. So road conditions are still treacherous, and because of the plummeting temperatures, anything that was a little bit slushy today will be nothing but a sheet of ice tomorrow. And speaking of temperatures, close to 0 by tomorrow morning. The record for the day is 2 below 0. No school again for the kids in Lexington, for the Lexington Public Schools in Fayette County, so another day to enjoy the snowy scene. As far as everybody else is concerned, above freezing temperatures by the weekend. In Lexington, I'm meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Maria. Well, Thor, it brought a mixed bag of wintry weather to Tennessee. Memphis, a spot that saw rain, sleet, snow, and now it's the bitterly cold temps.
And the Weather Channel's Ron Blum reports for us tonight with the very latest. Ron?
Well, here in Memphis overnight, the big story is going to be the cold on top of the sleet and snow that we got yesterday. We had some melting on the highway, as you can see, but now that is refreezing as the temperatures plunge down into the 20s. But get this, the overnight low in the city of Memphis will be 10 degrees early in the morning, but the outlying areas could be 5 degrees. And as the north winds kick up a little bit, that means the wind chill could be 6 to 10 below 0. You can hear from the crunching of the cars how this is refreezing now. City of Memphis only has a couple of dozen trucks that are out treating this. The strategy is to let it melt off. Well, that's going to take until the weekend when the temperatures finally get into the 40s. The good news is, though, the interstates dried out with the sunshine. The state does a little better job of plowing across Arkansas, up to Nashville, up towards St. Louis. All of the interstates are good, but these city roads are slick. They're going to refreeze. It's dangerous, as are parking lots and sidewalks. So this winter storm story for Memphis is not over yet, but they'll be singing the wintertime blues as they look back on Thor. In Memphis, I'm Ron Blum. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Ron. Well, we take you to one of the nation's busiest airports and a snowy incident that shut it down for several hours.
A Delta flight tried to land on a snow-covered runway, slid off, and skidded into a fence. Amazingly, no one got hurt or seriously hurt anyway.
Well, meteorologist Alex Wilson takes a closer look at what happened.
Tower, you have an aircraft off 31 on the North Vehicle Service Road. Please advise crash rescue. LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time.
It was pretty scary, and I'm just thankful that we didn't go into the water.
Near disaster on a snowy runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport Thursday when Delta Flight 1086 veered off, narrowly missing the water.
We were delayed on landing, and the pilot had announced, obviously, with the snow and the ice storm in New York area. As we approached the runway, as soon as the wheels hit the runway, you could feel that the skid.
The flight was coming in from Atlanta with 127 passengers and 5 crew members on board when it crashed into the fence.
I think the pilot did everything he could to slow the aircraft down. Obviously, the pilot and the co-pilot's good efforts were reflected in the fact that there were only minor injuries.
They just kept skidding, and then we were completely off the runway. We were on the ground, and they were having everyone brace inside, and obviously people were frantic and freaking out a little bit.
All I know is we were in the air, and then it was skiing. We landed, it started skiing, and then it hit the side of the rail, and then it went 400 yards. The next thing that we knew, it came to a halt. We all kind of went forward. Then after that, they evacuated us from the back.
Okay, we going out that way or this way? This way is fine.
This is what it looked like from inside the plane as passengers made their way onto the tarmac. No one was seriously hurt, and all are grateful to be safe.
We got off the plane, and obviously it's still snowing pretty bad out here, and but there was a ton of emergency workers and police and folks that took us.
That runway had been plowed literally minutes before, and other pilots had reported good braking action.
The NTSB is investigating the cause of the accident. We do know it was 26 degrees at the time, 1/4 mile visibility, snowing with winds of about 10 miles an hour, and the temperature had been falling throughout the morning. Many pilots don't like LaGuardia Airport because of its short runways. Add in bad weather and it's proven to be a dangerous mix. Take, for example, U.S. Air Flight 5050 in September of 1989. It skidded off the runway on takeoff in wet weather with poor visibility, landing in the water, killing 2 people. The cause ended up being pilot error and an aborted takeoff, but some argue a takeoff should not have been attempted at all because of the weather and pilot experience. And in 1992, another U.S. Air flight crashed on takeoff, killing 27 people. Ice and improper de-icing was to blame. I'm Alex Wilson, the Weather Channel.
Thanks so much, Alex. And straight ahead, the snow from Winter Storm Thor is wrapping up.
But in its wake, very cold air. We take a look at just how low the temps will go.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every truck can tow a boat. Every truck can climb a hill. Every truck can haul a trailer. But not everyone can say they're the fastest growing truck brand in America. Guts, glory, Ram.
When you're hungry for the craveable taste of tender fish and shrimp, nothing's better than Long John Silver's. Now, for a limited time, enjoy our new crispy golden fish and shrimp basket for just $3.99 at Long John Silver's.
You know, I tried one of those bargain paper towels, but the roll just disappeared. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so one roll lasts longer. Bounty, the long-lasting picker-upper.
Do you take your eyes off the road when you get a phone call? Or when you take a turn, does your phone take a fall? Then you need the incredible Clever Grip by Bell & Howell. The new smartphone clip with a super strong grip. No more fumbling for your phone and looking away from the road. Clever Grip holds your phone at eye level without blocking your vision. And the 360-degree pivoting head rotates for easy viewing. Perfect for driving with GPS.
Take next left.
Streaming your music.
Hello?
Or hands-free calling.
I'm using my new Clever Grip.
Clever Grip fits any style air vent, and the spring-loaded clamp holds everything tight, from the smallest flip phones to the largest smartphone. Those other mounts obstruct your vision, are hard to reach, and eventually lose suction. They never hold. But Clever Grip mounts at the perfect height, just like your car's most important gauges. You get a clear view of the road and easy access to all your phone's functions. Even this heavy brick is no match for Clever Grip. It works with your favorite phone cases and those bulky battery packs. It's great for passengers watching videos. And Clever Grip goes from the car to the house. And now you have an instant stand in the palm of your hand. It's the ideal stand for people who travel. It's the portable clip with the amazing grip. Call and order your Clever Grip by Bell & Howell today for just $14.95. Available only through this special TV offer. But wait, if you call right now, we'll give you a second Clever Grip free. Just pay separate processing. Perfect for every driver in the family. We guarantee you'll love it or your money back. So don't delay. Get Clever Grip today.
To get your Clever Grip for only $14.95 and get a second one free, call 1-800-549-0620 or go to buyclevergrip.com. That's 1-800-549-0620. Order yours today.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Weather Center Live, an extended version here. The Weather Channel is Winter Storm Central, and we're tracking another blast of icy air rushing into the Midwest behind Thor. Minneapolis, you're going to see below average temperatures. Right now, it is 13 degrees. We have 2 inches of snow on the ground, which I think is ironic that Little Rock has twice as much snow on the ground right now than Minneapolis. We're in a deficit right now, but the cold is definitely making up for it right now. All right, the traffic finally moving again on a stretch of highway in Kentucky that had got a lot more snow than Little Rock. The grueling frigid ordeal lasting through last night and into this evening.
Drivers stranded in their cars for hours. Our affiliate WAVE shows us how the incredible situation played out.
In my 18 years of law enforcement, I haven't seen this.
Joe Prather Highway is a standstill proof that a once-in-a-generation snow and sleet fall, almost nothing on 4 wheels, makes the grade.
We've had problems in the past just with the hill basically between the 102 mile marker and the 94, which is the first E-Town exit, just because it's a grade and it also has some curves in it.
Troopers are talking I-65, which thanks to 18-wheelers jackknifing on ice they couldn't see and drifts they couldn't gauge, shut down for miles in Hardin and Hart counties.
Sleeping off and on, just trying to figure out how long it's going to take to get out of here.
15 hours and counting for Stan and Corey Fitz, ditched in their pickup on their way home from Chicago. Chris Jones would like to help.
We were on Gene Snyder by Billtown, and that exit, where it comes up in slopes, and we would just sit and wait, and people would just come up and slide off the road. We sat there for probably like 2 hours pulling people up the hill.
plows and salt have cleared enough that both tow trucks and 18-wheelers can get some traction. Though Stan Fitz still sits, he gives the Commonwealth A's forever.
We've had several people stop and offer to help and make sure we had everything. So,
of course, considering that home is Atlanta.
You had to go there, didn't you?
All right. Well, joining us now on the phone is Marshall Herman from the Virginia Department of Transportation. And we certainly appreciate you, Marshall, for joining us here this evening. Now, we've seen the snow move across your state today. How are the conditions there right now?
Well, there are a wide range of conditions on our roadways across the state right now, ranging from minor, where there are isolated areas of snow, ice, or slush, to moderate, where you're going to see snow or ice on major portions of the road. We do have some severe road conditions where people could see drifting snow or partially blocked roadways in areas along the Interstate 95 corridor.
Oh, that's tough. Do you guys have crews out there working tonight?
We do. We have crews that are working in 12-hour shifts. They're treating the roads with salt and sand and plowing, and they'll be out there for as long as conditions exist in 12-hour shifts.
Now, are there any accidents or road closures that people should be aware of?
There have been accidents throughout the state. We're advising motorists to not travel unless it's absolutely necessary. In the southwestern part of the state, in areas of Bristol and parts of Salem as well, we've had some closures because of flooding, too. So if you see any standing water, it's wise to turn around and find another way to go.
That's our motto for sure. So what's your concern as we head the overnight, maybe for the morning commute as well?
Well, temperatures are dropping. They'll continue to drop tonight and into the day tomorrow, so there's a strong possibility of refreeze on the roadways. And so we're advising people, once again, not to travel unless it's necessary. If they do have to go out, give yourself a lot of extra time. Use extreme caution, drive slower, and give yourself extra space between vehicles. But there is that high potential of it being icy and slick tomorrow.
Now, with that being the case, are you thinking that schools may be canceled? I haven't heard any word of that, at least at this point.
Right.
I haven't seen too many, I believe, throughout the state. It depends on the county, and it's up to those districts. So, we do advise them at times as to whether or not we think a closure is necessary. And I believe they're still monitoring conditions right now before those decisions are made. All
right, we appreciate you joining us so much tonight, and of course, hopefully everybody staying safe on the Virginia roads.
Absolutely. Well, straight ahead, we are keeping a close eye on Winter Storm Thor as it starts to wind down a bit.
And it left situations like this in its path today. Drivers stranded on Kentucky highways. What's still to come? We'll go to the lab with Storm Specialist Carl Parker coming up next.
Why are you deleting these photos?
Because my teeth are yellow.
Oh, yeah, they are a little yellow.
Hey!
Why don't you use a whitening toothpaste?
I'm afraid it's bad for my teeth.
Try Crest 3D White. It's actually good for your teeth.
Introducing the new Crest 3D White Diamond Strong Collection. The toothpaste and rinse gently whiten and fortify weak spots. Used together for 2 times stronger enamel, so you can whiten without the worry.
Your smile looks great.
Oh, thanks.
Crest 3D White. Life opens up with a whiter smile.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Moen Caldwell faucet for $79 at Lowe's.
Weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Friday night, Showers early, low 69. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Wow, I've been Claritin Clear for 10 days.
When your allergies start, doctors recommend taking one non-drowsy Claritin every day during your allergy season for continuous relief.
18 days.
17 days.
22 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
Easter is right around the corner. We are super excited. That's why we're here at Burlington. I can't wait to see everybody all dressed up. I know that I can dress the kids from head to toe for under $100. We want to sound good and look good.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The S60 sedan from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo S60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
Boston Market introduces our 2 for $20 complete meal deal. For just $20, get 2 individual meals.
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials helped me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over the counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
710-5493 or go to getflexshot.com. That's 1-800-710-5493. Order now.
Winter Storm Thor.
Roads are terrible. Stay off the roads. Let the crews get their job done and everybody stay safe.
Live coverage continues in a moment on the Weather Channel.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Check it out here in Hartford. The temperature is 22 degrees. Boy, looks pretty, though, right now. Overnight low, we're looking at 8 degrees. The temperatures will drop. Tomorrow's sunshine does return, but the high only getting to 28 degrees. Now, hang in there. We will see temperatures warming up. We're going to talk about when in just a second. Carl's joining me now in the lab with the winter weather update, and we're going to talk about Thor, what's happening with Thor and what's left behind, and then we'll go on to the forecast.
Yeah, it was such a huge area that was affected by this storm. I mean, all the way from New England right on back down into Texas. And here you see in North Texas and across Oklahoma, you've got snow there that has gone away through the course of the afternoon. It's pretty remarkable. And it's not that it was so warm. I mean, certainly there was some melting going on there, but a lot of this is actually sublimation. And I love that word.
You do. Say it again.
Sublimation.
Okay, I love it. And, you know, the March sun will do that. So that's what we're seeing here, taking over here in Oklahoma and Texas. And probably by tomorrow afternoon, it'll be totally gone.
Yeah, you've got a very high sun angle this time of the year, and it excites those little molecules to the point where it just instantly goes from a solid to a gas. And yeah, everything's just about gone. But that is not the case. That is not the case up here into the Ohio Valley, where we had so much snow. We had a foot and even as much as a couple of feet of snow, and it's very much all over the ground here. And as we get into this much warmer pattern next week, we're going to have to start to worry about flooding, especially if we add some rain to all of that. So, you know, as we talked about last night, this was a flow more so than a low, and this flow was just directed right on the northeast for the better part of the day today, and we'll show you the radar picture in a moment. Here's a look at the snowfall totals: a foot there in Paducah, nearly so in Louisville, 25 inches in Radcliffe in Kentucky. That's amazing. And 15 in Waterloo. And then here is the radar picture from today. That's 12 hours showing you the snow that behaved as we thought it would in the mid-Atlantic region. It lasted a little longer than expected in the southernmost part of New England. We actually didn't get that much in Boston. We didn't break the record, but we got clobbered on the south side of the Boston metro area there on the South Shore. 10 inches, New Bedford, 7 New York, Atlantic City, 7.5 in Philly, and 9 in Columbia. That's about halfway between D.C. and Baltimore. And there's the last of it. It's finally now really winding down to some lingering light snow. We've had a little bit of freezing rain and light snow there around Tidewater, Virginia, and that is it for our storm. So now it's just cold. Tomorrow morning feels like 2 in New York City, minus 17 in Burlington, 1 Columbus, and 5 in Memphis.
A lot of record lows expected tomorrow.
A lot of record lows, exactly right. And then Saturday morning, still cold, still windy. It's going to take a little while to scour all that out, but we look for a major pattern change coming up here next week. We're looking for that, I should say. And then here is a look at the temperatures in January and February, and we had this big ridge across the west and big dip in the jet stream there in the east with below average temperatures. Well, that is finally going to lift out, and we see more of a zonal flow, a Pacific flow, storm coming into California. We were hoping that we would see that for the better part of the winter so they'd get more rain and snow in California. It just didn't happen. And we're really running out of time now. We're towards the end of the rainy season there. But look at this in Atlanta. Temperatures coming up into the 60s over the next several days here, and I'm thrilled about that personally. D.C. getting up to near 60 on Wednesday. Their average high is 52, so above average. And in New York City, also looking really good, coming up into the upper 40s, and the average high is right around 46 degrees. So nice break for a lot of people. The one spot where it's going to remain a little colder is northern New England because there's so much snow. It's going to keep the air colder there.
Right, it's like a refrigerator.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Carl. Appreciate it. Back to you, Alex.
All right, thanks so much, guys. That spring fever that we'll be experiencing into next week, a lot of folks certainly looking forward to it. It has been just downright frigid and brutal for many, so we want it, and we want it now. We'll get a chance to deal with it here as we head through the weekend into next week. The warm air that's been sort of situated here in the west will start to sort of migrate a bit on off towards the east as the jet stream will generally now be hugging to the north. So pretty much bottling up all the Canadian air in Canada. So how warm will it get? Well, we'll start you off on Saturday, and you can see North Platte getting up around 61 degrees. That'll feel really nice here to kick off the weekend. Sunday now, we're climbing in Kansas City to the upper 50s, and we will continue to go up and up. By Monday now, it's the low 40s around Chicago. At least that'll be a bit above average. And then by Tuesday for us, we see 50s getting up around Chi-Town and approaching that mark in the Twin Cities. If we can get to 50, it will be the first time we've gotten there since December of last year. So it's been a while. We would certainly like it. We'll take this upper 60 there in North Platte. Well, we've got one more thing to tell you about tonight. That's coming up after your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds light and variable. Friday, rain, high 81. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Friday night, showers early, low 69. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back as we continue to deal with the Arctic air blasting in behind our winter storm Thor. Look at the numbers, single digits and teens, even down into parts of the Mid-South. Look at Nashville, 19 degrees right now, sitting at freezing in the Atlanta area. The one warm spot is Jacksonville at 65 degrees. So cold air really taking over, and we'll deal with this as we head on into tomorrow morning as well as into the weekend. All these dots showing up these are areas where we could see some record low temperatures. At least that is the potential. Tomorrow morning, waking up to 0, the Goose Egg in Chicago, 8 below 0 in Burlington. Saturday, we actually warm up a little bit. At least we're getting above 0. Still cold, but we're at least moving in the right direction. But heads up for some of these record potentials, including Memphis could break a record by a good 11 degrees. That record set back in 1920. Little Rock, another spot, even down towards Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Jackson, Kentucky. 8 is the forecast.
The power of Mother Nature's elements. Unleashed and captured on tape. For the first time, leading scientists dissect shocking video.
Indeed, if the waves are steep enough, then this can produce enough energy to capsize the vessel.
As they reveal the awesome power of all 4 elements. Moment by moment, disaster by disaster. On this episode,
can you help over?
An ocean liner sinks.
Once you've got water into the sewage system, that leads to all the cabins.
And 500 passengers have been abandoned. 150 feet up. Window washers hold on tight as strong wind shears take dead aim. Buried alive, an 800-year-old basilica comes tumbling down. Then, fire everywhere.
Superheated gases, it's the big killer. One deep breath and you're done.
We gotta go! For one family, there's no place to run. We're not staying here! Meet the people who survived against all odds. Against the elements. A spectacular disaster at sea. A large passenger cruise ship with 582 people on board is in distress off the South African coast. Huge ocean swells swamp the deck. It's sinking nose first.
They went straight down like the Titanic did.
But unlike the Titanic, where captain and crew fought valiantly to save the ship, the officers of this vessel will do the unthinkable. Abandoning their ship before all passengers get off.
It was amazing to see the crew leaving early. It was quite despicable, really.
2 of the ship's entertainers, a magician, Julian Butler, and a guitar-playing singer, Moss Hills, realize it's up to them to help rescue the terrified travelers.
All we're supposed to do, all we're doing the safety drills, is stand by a doorway and say, your lifeboat's over there, lifeboat number 3, lifeboat number 3. That's it. We're not supposed to be on the bridge making mayday calls.
Can you help over?
It happened about 100 miles from the city of East London. The Oceanos, a Greek vessel, set sail in a raging storm. And in one of the world's most treacherous patches of ocean, according to maritime expert Richard Bucknall.
Well, it's a part of the world that's renowned by sailors to be extremely rough. Simply because it's an area where 2 of the world's oceans meet, the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean.
Julian Butler will never forget. He says from the time the 7,000-ton Oceanos left port in the early evening, it was pitching violently in 30-foot swells. Daylight was fading fast, and passengers feared they'd have a rough night.
People were getting seasick, some people were panicking, some people were crying, some people were still drinking at the bar. There was a mixed bag.
But the worried passengers are about to turn terrified. After almost 5 hours at sea, the lights and electrical power goes out.
At this stage when the lights first went out, there were no announcements made of any kind, nothing coming over the public address systems, nothing from the captain, nothing from anybody else, just nothing at all. Nobody knew what was going on.
I'm right down below now. There's water everywhere.
Because they can't get any answers to their questions from the captain or crew, Moss and Julian take a video camera below deck.
So I guess we're going down. Really hard to believe. That's the bottom of the stairway.
And we saw one watertight door that was closed.
I guess we're going down.
And we went right up to it, and it's like a physical fear thing that you can feel in your stomach, and we could hear water pounding the other side of it.
But when a crew member spots Moss, he's chased away.
Yeah, going up. Up. Yes, and there's water everywhere.
Far below the waterline is the sea chest, a compartment exposed to the ocean where the ship takes in water to cool engines for firefighting and other purposes. But in the pounding sea, it fails. Now, every hour, 4,000 gallons of water, weighing 16 tons,